Hi, Gravel by California here to give you yet another tour of Pacifico Mountain. This ride is so special to me not just because it's one of our favorites, but because it was the very first Gravel by California ride. It's so special, I thought, let's do a Google Earth overview, so let's just dive right into it. There's a lot to see. This is a general overview of just part of the Angeles National Forest. You can see Mount Wilson here, which is a big focal point, and you can kind of see the start of the Angeles Crest Highway kind of creep up. But I'm going to go to the first point, which is how you get there. Typically, there's two main points. You connect from Angeles National Highway to Angeles Forest Highway, which kind of ribbons along right here above Josephine Peak, or it's about a 9-mile climb coming up off of Big Tujunga Road. Now this ride that I normally do, it's a 38-mile loop, and typically I start off here at the fire station, Monte Cristo. Normally there's parking there, there's restrooms in the back, and if you don't have water, there's a little spigot here on the side. As you see right off the side is Upper Tujunga Road, Upper Big Tujunga, but when you start, we're going to continue straight on Angeles Forest Highway for about 7 miles. It's a continuous, steady climb. It may not go over 7% at any point. This is about the halfway point, and obviously it's paved, and it's nice to get a lot of the elevation of the day out of the way. That's relatively easy compared to what it could be if you maybe went the other way. From here, you start to see the peak of Mill Creek, which is your destination point. You see we're flying up, and Mill Creek is an important juncture for a few things. You kind of see straight ahead here, this is the road to Mount Gleason. As you kind of come down here, Angeles Forest Highway continues into Acton. You could also see ribboning right along here, Pacific Crest Trail, which is not open to cyclists. But here at the Mill Creek Fire Station, you kind of see tucked away here, there's a parking lot behind the fire station. There's restrooms here, there's also a spigot. You would think there would be one at the fire station, but they closed that off a long time ago. So from here, alas, dirt. It's about 3 miles of semi-sandy sandiness when you climb up to the Granite Mountain turnoff. You can see it's very windy. You may spin out a couple spots. Last time I did it was on 38s with maybe too much air pressure, and I was pretty good the whole way up. As we go to the Granite Mountain turnoff, the first peak, as you can see from the image on the right, which I gotta blow up, it's just a really special spot where this big valley where Adler Creek comes down, don't see anybody around. You can see the little trail off to the right, which dead ends, but one of these days that should be another exploration for me. Continuing further east, it's about 1.5 miles of rollers here on Pacifico Mountain Road until you see the sign right here for the turnoff. From here it goes to more, it's supposed to be double width, but you'll only find probably it's narrow enough on one side because a lot of it is very sandy. You have to pick and choose. The sign itself is a little misleading. It says it's 1 mile to the campground. Make that 1.5 miles. Not too far in the big scheme of things, but you know, it's single track. It's a really pretty climb. Not the toughest, but really the destination top of Pacifico is pretty amazing. You can kind of see Brian here on the side, just above the trees. And then when you get to the top here, you can see it just off of the Google Earth, or even in this image. You know, on perfect days, you could even see the Sierras way out there, which is crazy. Also, you get like a good vantage point of here of, we'll rotate around a little bit. But you can start to see there's Mount Baldy, Mount Islet. You start to see all the other peaks, and really everything starts to come together when you're here on Pacifico. Gonna go back down. You're gonna have to backtrack to get to Pacifico Mountain Road, and then it's about almost a 3-mile descent here on the dirt, which takes you on a section that's been recently improved. Normally you'll have down trees, rocks everywhere, but recently I saw a bulldozer that had not just regraded but also knocked off a lot of the spare debris, which makes it a lot more fun. Also, you can see here, which I'll include, there's a little link to a video showing the connection of the descent from the turnoff to Pacifico Mountain all the way to Chileau. You're going to hit a low point here, which is Adler Saddle, where you'll be forced onto some pavement. As you can see here, there's one section that'll take you actually back down to the Lancaster area, which will hit sand. But then you've got, this is a semi-steepish climb. It probably hits just 10%. And as I straddle around, you'll see that it kind of continues up. It's all paved, if you stay in the paved part, to a few camps and puts you a little bit above Newcomb's Ranch. But you'll see right here, there's a dirt turnoff, which if you're not looking closely, you may miss. And that's the road to Chileau. Now, this section has kind of gotten an opposite treatment than Pacifico Mountain Road. There are some down trees, there are some rocks. You're hugging the creek a little bit, the ledge a little bit more, and from here you get a nice view of Adler Creek below. Sometimes you'll see Mount Lucan's Point in, but it's a little bit downhill, kind of rollish. You'll get some speed. This part is a lot of fun. Now, this part may be a little bit confusing, where you see number 12 here. There's a little gate. It's very simple. Stay to the left. There's a little downhill. They'll take you into Adler Creek. Once again, that's a dead end that I haven't explored yet. But the road here wants to be pavement, but it's broken up a lot until you hit this little water spot, which is super important because there's not a lot of water here off of the highway. As you make your way through, it's paved, and before you know it, you'll hit Highway 2, Angeles Crest Highway. You'll only be on it for a short amount of time, but you have to really be careful because you're coming down this really fast downhill, and at the bottom, a lot of people miss this entrance to Mount Mooney. Normally, cyclists would want to stay on the highway to go around, but I highly suggest taking Mount Mooney because, one, it's dirt, two, it takes you about the same amount of time, which means you avoid having to climb with all these fast cars around Newcomb's Ranch. You know, this is another really pleasant climb. It's Fire Road, it's only about 7%, and they've kept it up really well. It's also available for off-roading, so beware of other Jeeps and trucks coming down. Just a little bit off, which I haven't gone to, there's an observatory, which you can bike to. That's gated, you won't find any off-road vehicles. From there, it's a really short descent back down to the highway. There's a couple small sandy patches. Once again, they've improved this part, which really helps. It's about another 5 miles, mostly downhill, one climb here along Angeles Crest Highway, where you'll see the little turnoff to Upper Big Tujunga. This one you probably won't miss. There's enough of a warning. You whip down. This is really fast. It's about a little under 10 miles till you get back to the start and complete the loop. There's a couple small uphills, but they're negated because you're going so fast. You should get a lot of good speed. It's really the last part of this highway that can get a little, if you've had a long day, it's hot, it can get on you just a little bit. It's about a mile climb here at the end. The wind might be a little bit in your face, So you can see I highlighted the Colby Ranch turnoff. There's about a mile road that takes you to the parking lot, and then you may be able to bike about another kilometer up on a dirt closed road where there's a camp up there that's privately owned. And then you'll just see back here, you get a nice little, after the climb, little descent back down to Monte Cristo Fire Station, and it's about 38 miles, a little bit under 6,000 feet of climbing, and man, what a ride. So please go check out Pacifico Mountain. Best time of the year is probably April to June. It's got snow on it for a good part of the year, so after June, it probably gets a little sandier until the snow returns. Anyways, please go check out all my other videos that I've done on this ride, the articles, and subscribe to us on Gravel by California because I love doing things like this. Take care.